Well, they can be here, but there's no speaking from the floor.
There is last week. This is from last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they can question the first part.
Is it the fifth?
Yeah, it's
fifth day.
It is.
An
I
annual
know.
meeting,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
budget hearing, and then a budget meeting.
We're gonna have it right.
One pitches audio,
Budget meeting.
more for.
I'm not sure why they require a budget hearing and a budget meeting.
Yeah. I'll have to order and then we'll go on.
I emailed you the.
Make sure I got everything.
I also have
You know what I mean?
the,
This is-
makeup of the summit.
Right, for
and
sure.
that I
It's,
sent you.
yeah, it's, I mean, I think we are, so we're not, I mean, we can.
still wanna be by the law.
I can do it if I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see something wrong with it.
No, that's the only thing that we have to go on. I saw that.
What we gave you a budget, I'll see if they wanna look at it.
Yeah.
I'll call the meeting order, then 8:04.
Oh, they're here, it's right there.
Oh, that could.
And we got the minute.
I forgot my calendar. So I'm gonna be writing.
Do you have it? Do you have a pen?
Oh, no, that's right, we need to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Okay, so this is a budget hearing meeting,
Right,
and,
Pen?
oh, yes.
Okay.
Do I have a hearing aid?
No.
okay,
I need a hearing aid, though. Sorry.
Alright, we're gonna call it to order at 8:05, okay?
We're doing the budget hearing now, guys. Does anybody, do any of you patrons wanna look at the budget? I have pretty some copies here. Well,
What is
we-
banner press?
We'll keep our copies, but you can look at it now. We don't have copies to hand out, but we have copies for you to look at. You wanna look at them?
Do you have a day?
Joe, you wanna look at one? I have another one.
Oh,
But they won't be back.
829.
$172,000. You got there? That's $172,637.
Eighth day. Oh, yeah. Oh, on the 29th day.
The annual meeting agenda?
Okay.
We're open to the board, all the townships, you got any issues with budget, or you want to see anything on it?
Yep, that one's here.
Okay.
Okay, then, I make a motion to close the budget hearing, we have the budget hearing. And then a second it. Right here.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I just wanted you to,
I'm not sure I got the right dates.
Oh, okay, got it.
Jeremy.
Okay,
Yeah, Dave.
oh, that's
Yep.
the budget. Here,
Yeah,
yes,
that's the budget.
That's the hearing.
Everybody agree?
This is last year's.
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Here you go.
okay,
Roll call.
alright, alright, I got it.
Yeah, do that.
Thank you.
Use that, yeah, use that.
Closed at
Alright, here we go.
8:07 PM.
So, it says, here we go. Board members, myself, Frank, and Lori, you are here.
On this, I'll make
We
a
all have a,
motion.
receipt of the meeting notice, and agenda,
Somebody want to second it?
the 9/7/2020
Adjourning the meeting.
budget hearing minutes for meeting. Okay, so that would be,
My handwriting's terrible. All in favor, Nate? It's passed, okay.
I have the budget hearing minutes.
yep, that's it. Oh, well, that's the same thing I got from myself.
Oh,
That's
he was
okay.
just using that as a, as a guide.
Oh, sorry.
I don't have the minutes.
They are there, that's them.
Oh, that's the,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I use that as a guide.
okay, got it.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
fair enough. And then,
Yeah,
okay,
you wanna
here we
keep
go.
up with
So,
file, then
the
you keep-
minutes, our Chairman Don Corley called an annual budget
Yeah, I probably need-
hearing
I probably
Town
need one of
Summit
those.
Township ordered 8:05. Rising City, and all copy of the meeting agenda, and a copy of the Nebraska meetings that are available.
keep
Roll
going.
call was taken.
Yeah, I think that's.
Receipt of the meeting notice and
Okay,
agenda were acknowledged by members of the
We're gonna open
body.
the, yeah, let's see,
No,
this is
we
the budget,
already
but
did
still, you
this.
gotta finish the budget.
2022 budget hearing
Increases,
read. The budget amount for the
Yeah.
upcoming year was read by Frank Kitchell.
1% increase in restricted
What's that?
The budget amount.
Progressive audit waiver, I know that,
Oh,
budget approval, yeah.
The meeting's closed though on this, on what the budget is here.
Well, we should, the hearing is closed now, we should have a time to
Okay,
open this up.
Property tax
Budget meeting.
request for this year
They don't have
is
it.
$176,300.
It must be up here. We'll just keep it open, keep it open, because this is still budget.
A
They had
request for
hearing.
the discussion
They
of
did- this
the
screwed
upcoming
us up too,
budget
they
is
didn't
made by
have it.
Frank
This
Kitchell.
is new, this hearing deal, so it's still budget. We gotta go through it.
Do what they
And
do.
Yeah.
It says a request for any discussion on the upcoming budget was made by
Oh,
Frank.
yes, is, any of you, any of the patrons or anybody in, need to discuss the budget? No, okay.
Can you repeat
Hey,
the amount?
Frank.
of the-
Frank, quick question, on the 1% restricted funds, what the hell is that?
I really,
Yeah, do we vote yes or no?
yeah, I think you vote yes for it.
No, yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's one of them, I asked one time and
It's just, you vote on, okay,
Yeah.
motion, I'll make a motion to vote on it, or.
you wanted to, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, second, wants to second it, you want to second it, Jeremy?
I got it. 176,
Okay,
337.
thank you.
I make a motion at
Okay,
8:10
I vote yes.
that we adjourn this hearing.
Okay,
Do I have a
3
second?
Oh, so,
And Frank seconded.
request for the audit waiver, yes, I'll make a motion.
And how do you vote, Lori?
I
Vote on
vote
that?
yes.
I vote yes. Frank votes yes.
Yes.
Hearing the end.
The one that's second.
Adjourned.
Yeah, it's an audit waiver.
I made a motion.
Close that.
Yeah.
8:10.
Second, I'll second. Okay.
Motion to.
All right, now.
To pass the request for the audit.
Oh, yeah, there's like a budget meeting and.
We'll do it
hearing.
right there.
No, we'll wait here. I'll wait till we get done.
now what's the next one, is the budget meeting.
The budget meeting, that is correct. That's the one we're holding right now. And
Yeah.
I have that agenda right here in front of me. Okay, so we're calling it to order at, call it to order at 8:12.
Right, right,
And
yeah.
all three board members are here. And we'll have an agenda,
A motion to approve.
have an agenda. Budget, yeah.
Yeah, we all have it.
Yep, and the reading of last year's budget meeting
Oh, and this
minutes.
was,
I forgot.
Adjournment, now we can,
For
this
those, I
is where
forgot there were
we
two
should.
meetings and I just printed
Oh.
the budget hearing minutes, so.
Okay.
Can you email those? Does anyone-
Sure, it works, that works.
Does anyone want
Yeah, they
the
changed it,
emails
they
of
added
last
that.
year's budget and-
Yeah, they added that.
Do
minutes?
right now, for motion to match up.
Well, there ain't none, it's the same.
All right,
it-
here we
Yeah,
go.
but yeah.
Discussion of audit waiver requirements
Absolutely.
and the eligibility for audit waiver. That is what is right here,
Okay, Jeremy.
that'll be
second.
that sheet and they're
Oh,
all
right here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, thank you for that.
Yeah, I do.
So
Yeah.
Lori can tell you the first one or whatever,
Okay.
you just go with
And
it.
that would be motion to, that would be.
Motion
The
to
1%
adjourn.
increase in restricted
Budget.
funds authority,
Yeah.
a motion was made by.
Budget hearing, budget meeting, yeah, because the hearing, what they must have done is they threw in there instead of just a budget, that's all.
To increase the
Well, that was supposed to
total
be open to the
restricted
fourth, they
funds
must have
authority
put
by
it
an
in for hearing,
additional 1%.
which we never had before, this is the first time we've had that. So you gotta have a budget hearing to open it to the floor, where the budget was open before the floor, which is
And
so stupid.
Frank, will you vote?
Favor, yes, yes.
Yes.
Me? Let's do-
Okay, now we'll go down to.
Next
Okay.
one's request
Make
for
a
an
motion to
audit
open
waiver.
the
A motion
regular
was
meeting
made
at
by
8:12.
I can make it.
We got the agenda.
and I can second that
Order.
motion.
All right,
Jeremy and
To request an audit
Pat,
waiver
here.
for the fiscal year
Charlie.
ended
here.
be
Next meeting's on the
June
wall,
30th,
next one on the wall. We didn't
Yeah.
do all
Yeah.
24.
missed some of this stuff on here.
Fiscal year. I'm lost.
Yeah, then we need to.
When's the fiscal year meeting?
So this is.
I think
June 30th,
Yeah,
I
okay.
think.
And then we starts in July.
Yeah, I
You
thought it
you
was
want the
June
one of these,
30th.
yeah, July first starts.
No, I just put it here, I got read it. I need the last month's minutes, so I'll read through those.
And then,
Yes.
Yes.
and I vote yes also. The budget approval section, a motion was made by, I can make a.
I'll make
motion. Okay. And seconded by,
I can
second,
Okay, August 7th, 2024,
And
township meeting, got my
to approve
order,
the,
five. Pat
budget
Jeremy and
as
Charlie will
proposed.
press the previous
So,
minutes
you-
read.
Yes.
And Pat made a motion,
Yes.
to accept,
I vote yes.
seconded by
Two.
Jeremy, all in favor.
Yes.
Treasury report was read and the motion to
The
approve.
last
made
one
by
is
Charlie,
the
seconded by
adjournment
Pat.
of the meeting.
All in favor,
There
please say.
being no further
No
business,
business.
the motion was
No
made
bid for
by,
receipt for
I'll
emergency
make
snow
this motion,
removal,
Lauren.
having Johnson Hall.
And second.
I'll second it.
In a new
To
business,
adjourn
Charlie
the
made a motion to table the interlocal agreement.
And Frank?
David
how do
City,
you vote?
second by
Yes.
Pat.
Um,
We're all in
Yes.
favor, Charlie made
I
a
vote
motion.
yes, too.
Meeting's adjourned.
Seconded by Pat to get on the county agenda for digging ditches and getting grass a
Okay.
little quicker. We're all in favor, and Darlene, so call it.
That takes care of that.
J Road 33, 34. Shane said to maintain the building all in good working order. Shane said Randy, Yannick, and John Spiker have things that are in the right way, used to be at.
Here we go.
But-
Now then,
8 o'clock, so we'll go all of my regular meetings, at 8:60.
did you get your original
Make a
copy
motion to
back?
adjourn the budget.
You can keep mine.
All in, Charlie,
I'll
we're all,
swap it.
okay.
Thank you.
So we approve the minutes.
I was reading through that. I don't
You know
know
where
where
we're
we're
at
at
on
on
the
the
agenda?
agenda.
Well, we've closed the budget,
Okay, all in favor?
the hearing and the actual budget.
Okay,
stuff
you
is
got
closed.
anything from the
All
floor?
right, we're in the annual meeting.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Yep.
No, that's done.
You okay with that?
Yep,
We're calling the annual meeting
Yeah,
order
I did that.
at 8:15.
Treasurer's report,
Oh.
what do we got?
All these have July's. I don't, August
Oh,
never
never came yet.
Okay,
came. Mine's this here.
all right, here we go.
July's.
So we called it to order at 8:15, and once again, we have an agenda and a whole item one is taken care of.
Come out yet, show interest.
Yeah, yeah, it was last month too.
And each one of us
So
have
we've got,
$2,500 in 1 month.
an agenda,
how much?
Is that?
reading of
No,
last
785.
year's minutes,
785 was earned.
Oh, yeah,
additions,
they-
corrections,
This statement
and last year's minutes are right here. Lori.
Oh, that's what the CD.
What the-
Yeah, what the CD.
Here we go.
CD information.
Okay.
From
And
July.
that's, what's that, 100 in there?
Chairman Don Farley called the annual meeting of Summit
That's
Township
the
order.
first month they went up 1,000.
Just occurred to me.
Plus the interest.
They didn't bring it.
Check.
The total interest rate is 2,500.
Yes.
Yeah, total, but that's probably been since we started though, ain't it?
No, that's this.
Is that for the
That's
month?
this statement.
Is it for this statement?
That's that statement.
At the community.
Which
hall,
would make
copy
sense, I
of
guess,
the-
back
That's
the
every
meeting
3
and a
months.
copy of the meetings act were available,
when they-
roll call, board
Right, I
members
think
was
that's what it
taken.
says.
Receipt of the minute notice and acknowledged by the governing body,
Or maybe it's
minutes
just
from 9/7/22 were read, minutes approved as written, okay. Item 5, the agenda pertaining to the picture.
It's just, this is our first one we
The
got on
agenda,
this.
So
if
it's
required, was
12:34.
addressed by Chairman Don Farley asking if there were any patron.
Yeah, that'd be about right.
Patron Greg Glass was present but did not have any specific requests at this time, therefore no reordering of the agenda was required. Item 6, the agenda.
Yeah,
pertaining
Yeah.
this
to
is every
discussion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Regarding-
Yeah, cause 12, that's way too much for
Yeah,
for
that's
one.
Interlocal agreement.
Yeah, so, this is, and this
Item 6A
thing, this
regarding
is what we
Township
made
road,
between
Shane's
the
Bank,
account and
road
this
for
out.
Greg to give-
The thing's a little
25,
bit-
if you take 200,000
Chickens are
times,
being
say,
moved.
4% annual
Visually.
is,
Title something.
12,000, that's
Okay,
1,000.
Greg asked about
So,
your.
yeah, that's.
That's 785, yeah. This is, I think these are all what we made on the monthly, plus the month before, I think this is interest paid.
Okay.
No, it's interest paid.
Item 6B, Olive Roads, Olive discussed their roads. 6C regarding equipment. Operators report, Shane reporting the maintainers working well, the radios having issues. Not allowing the radio station.
Yeah, see, the 9,000 divided by the 12. would be about 785.
Doug's supposed to pass.
About right, where's the 25?
Make a call to Hansi to see.
Well, that-
if we make a condition.
Oh, up,
Wait for the
paid
township
this
auction,
statement to
for
date
auction.
probably is that.
Well, but this is your
17
today
split
here.
between Townships.
This ain't, this is paid this.
Don stated that wanted to hear more from the or something that we should use it towards a different system for general cleaning. That purchase, something with his own money that could be used and
Yeah, I'll make a decision.
purchase.
That's it, I
That's
just-
what- with a welder for the attachment, to attach various pieces of equipment to the motor grader. Ooh, oh, lava, is that how to pronounce it?
Yeah, because 3%.
Well, a lot should have been an H,
Yeah.
probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Seven would be the same,
Sorry.
9,000 a
That's
year.
about 75.
5 months, yeah. But this one.
An H in front of the L? Okay,
Oh, whoops, sorry.
alright, is doing the welding.
Oh, they have.
Oh, yeah, later.
Frank reviewed the account of the township, the budget amount being requested will be.
What is the last thing you have, last thing?
73,932,
June?
no increase.
Yeah, well,
Compensation for the officer, a letter to the landowners discussing compensation, keep the weeds down, prevent safety from trap.
Yeah, 'cause we probably didn't start it. Right, Ed.
Extended the
But,
you know,
see, we got something else on
You
there.
know, I just,
Board
maybe
member
this
required by
interest
payment of
went back
exception.
onto that, and
This
that's
will be
a
added to
master
letters
statement
drawn.
for interest.
Another suggestion was that.
You know,
LOI
combined.
asking the
Combined,
landowners
that's what I was thinking,
to
was
contact
combined.
the tenant to make sure
But
the
even
work is completed.
That and that don't add up to this,
Have the
though.
tenants know 4 feet.
120, 1200 and the
If
75
the
don't add up to
aspect
25.
pitches, the landlord
It could be,
use their own judgment.
The only thing is,
Greg Lance made the suggestion.
that-
Go ahead and line, you know.
yeah, ask her about that.
Maintenance.
Oh, yeah, you gotta
Related
sign
to
the
these
ones that,
things,
they can't sign
board
checks.
also discussed.
They didn't sign our papers.
oh, I did sign the thing.
Yeah, but he didn't sign
I
it.
finally did.
I know, but he didn't, he's gotta do it.
Reference.
They reminded me tonight.
Working document.
After 5 o'clock.
Lori,
I can't wait
Chair
to
of
get
Don
on and
Frank
make it
Path
happen.
Review.
That's what we screwed up the first time, because they
Frank
lost.
requested mileage summary by location.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find that out, but it's all good stuff there, Jim.
Greg, Son, Holly discussed moving start time
Okay.
to 7 P.M.
Treasurer's report.
Beginning in
That's
December
good, now we got
through the winter.
bills.
Item
We
eight on the
need
agenda, there was
to-
no emergency items. Motion was made by Frank to provide payment of pending bills pertaining to the road maintenance and joint expenses that are being split by Holly. Second motion passed.
Yeah, until they get that.
For the treasurer's report, we need to
Okay.
motion.
Date of the next regular board meeting was set for.
Yeah, make a motion, I'll make a motion.
Okay. I think
I will update.
Okay,
for-
all in
the
favor?
spelling,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll update the spelling and we will make it
Oh,
as
it's
written.
ready.
Okay?
Oh, it is, that's right.
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
no
well,
love watches down there.
no.
All right, okay, all right. Yeah, we're number 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Old business and all.
Mr. Lance.
Didn't she give you the bill though?
No, that was last month.
Oh, that's what.
Comment?
That was last month.
Okay.
Okay.
You should have a
Mr.
copy of
Perry,
last month's.
comment?
Yeah, she got that, I forgot.
Any public comment?
I asked Lori if I could be put on the agenda.
Okay, any bids for the emergency? No.
So,
No, you're not on the agenda,
she responded back saying yes.
and you're not on the agenda.
Okay. What I wanted to talk about, but
It doesn't make any difference, you're not on the agenda.
We needed to push it to,
Any bids for
we
the
needed to push
emergency?
it to October because
this
that's.
is the open meeting today.
Get a lawyer.
Can you
Get a
just say
no,
loudly
I will
that you're
not.
refusing to let me speak at the meeting?
Sit down.
You're refusing to let me speak
Do
at the meeting?
not get out of
Okay.
your chair and come up here.
Because Lori said I was on the agenda,
Sit down.
and it says right here.
Sit down.
Okay.
Now, if you have a comment, state your purpose, your topic, and make it brief. You got 2 minutes. Go.
Where does it say I have 2 minutes?
You got 2 minutes.
Motor
Go.
review plow.
Okay, my first question is, where do we get 2
Pretty
minutes
much
time
$200
to
an
talk?
hour, so.
Where does that state?
That was cheap at 150.
Great, it's a good question. Go.
You want me to answer?
I don't have to answer it.
Okay.
Yeah, they have motor graders.
So the first thing I noticed, which Charlie did this tonight, the Open Meetings Act has to be displayed, either pinned on a board, not laid loosely on a table. and you have to announce it at the beginning of the meeting where the Open Meetings Act
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I
Yeah.
talked
played,
to Paul and he talked to his dad.
Okay,
And,
right in
they
the,
made
Okay.
it clear to me, and I think.
Okay.
He told
it's
me
loosely on the table.
just so you guys.
well, there you
know,
go, that's your opinion, go.
Type it up. That's why there's no.
You got a minute, 30
Okay.
seconds.
I was gonna bring this up for Lori. Starting January 1st, they're kinda helping us that don't have newspaper subscriptions, so they started this website called anypublicnotices.com. So starting the first, they're required to put the agenda and the time.
Absolutely. If
What's it called?
we call them.
Anypublicnotices.com.
They will be,
Stay in your
everything
seat.
in their effort to do it. So, and I told them it's for this,
That way I don't
did
get
that
all
season. This season.
Now, is that just for us or is that for Summit too? Is that just for our township?
Well, I just.
Are they gonna wanna do, I
You
guess.
have
we
45
can-
seconds.
When we
I'm
have the
just-
meeting.
I guess I'm just working for
Um,
all overall.
Something
I'm
I'm
working for
also
all
discussing with all of Township is,
But you know what I mean?
Okay,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but it also
Section
reflects.
G
that
of
it's
the
just-
Open Meetings Act, the
if
public
we're-
body shall,
if we're
upon
doing
request,
ours,
make a reasonable effort to
Or something,
accommodate
right.
You see what I mean?
public
Yeah,
rights.
they're
Here,
doing their.
Yeah,
running
it
for
reflects
grant,
that.
yeah.
discussion and testimony at
Yeah.
public meetings,
And
so
we're closer over there to.
talking about
Right.
rearranging
It
the
just makes
tables
sense that way.
so their voices aren't projecting over
I have
here.
it if we need it.
So it's really hard for us to hear you guys when they're
If we
talking
make a call,
this way,
that's what it is, you know, we have prices that.
and that might be.
Yeah, you
part
got
of
the price there, yeah.
Price at a time,
Discussion with all of it later.
Do
Yeah.
you wanna get one turned in, Pat?
Your time is
Yeah, I'll
up.
do that. I'll do
And if
that.
anybody else does, and then
Yeah,
we'll
just
call
keep
when
it.
we need to.
Just keep it in there.
That meeting will not be going to make a reasonable effort to accommodate the
Okay, so
public's
that's your
request to hear you better.
Your time is up. All right?
Now.
We've got your
here's
three
what
questions.
David City.
You didn't
And
make
we've got your
it.
And
comments.
here's what we did, and I talked
Thank
to,
Now then.
Chris Crowe. And we were, Chris Crowe.
Summit Township retained
Shane.
legal counsel
And we
to
had visited and
discuss
stuff.
items
And nothing was done on their
pertaining
road
to
till.
and
the only thing
associated
that
with
they did
the
was
Open Meetings
plow.
Act.
Fairgrounds open, but didn't say.
There are two
Then they
provisions
widened it,
in the
so
Nebraska Open Meetings Act
otherwise,
which
our
are
grader
generally
did not go
applicable
in this area on
to
any of their
meetings of
roads
public
during a
bodies.
snowstorm Until ours was.
Subject to the Open Meetings Act, the
So I
public
don't think
has the
there's any
right
reason
to
why we
attend and
shouldn't
the right
have
to
to do this
speak
again.
at a meeting of
And
public
he's
bodies.
open to.
And
no
all
problem.
or any
If you
part of a
can't get
meeting
there,
of a public
He
body.
said, that's fine, I'll
Except for
try and take
closed
care of it.
sessions
And
called
they'll do something
pursuant
down the road
to
later on.
section
And now, where they're
84-1410.
not being able to grade the roads,
May
they're
be
doing the pavement now, they'll shake
videotape,
out the road and ran over, so.
televised, photographed, broadcast, or recorded by
Yeah.
any person in attendance by means of a tape recorder, a camera, video equipment, or any other means of pictorial or sonic reproduction or in writing, except for closed sessions called pursuant to 84-1410. A
Yeah,
public
because some of
body
them
shall
come
allow
and
members of the
pile up
public
and
an
they run
opportunity to
it,
speak at each meeting. It shall not be a violation
The city, yeah.
of section 1 in this
Yeah.
section
Yeah, the
for any public body to make and enforce reasonable rules and
we
regulations
didn't-
regarding the
we didn't spend a
conduct
lot
of
of time
persons
up there
attending,
for
speaking
not
at,
being on our road, that's
videotaping,
what I'm saying. It
televising,
wasn't,
photographing,
took away
broadcasting, or
a whole
recording
day, they
its
were doing
meetings,
something that cost us a
including
whole day.
meetings held by virtual conference. The language of 84-1412 subsection 1 is quite broad, the provision that a public body shall allow members of the
well, we were
public an
doing,
opportunity
we were
to
doing,
speak
this,
at meetings
this was ours anyway, and this was
regular
ours
meetings
anyway.
of Summit Township and
So, and we
Summit
had been, we
Township
had
annual
actually been
meetings
doing
with
this
the
there
town
local
elected.
right away before.
Because the statutory language
Right,
is broader
right,
than
we did
just
that.
electors' right to speak at an annual meeting.
And it probably wouldn't have took that
Okay.
long, but I got there right after.
And then there's
blocking some of the
more
other
writing.
for launch, so I had to wait a little bit for
A
it.
general rule,
If I hit it
the word
right now,
shall in statute is
I
considered
told him
mandatory
I
and
didn't
is
do the envelope going back to
inconsistent
the
with the
drawer,
idea
so
of
back
discretion.
to he said, "Don't worry about it,
However,
he'll take care of it." So
The breadth of 84
And they got a good back and
subsection
forth
1
relationship.
is tempered by the authority
If we need some
granted
help or if they need
to the
some-
board
And he actually,
in
Chris told me, he said, on
84-14,
this mile here, that they
12
put gravel.
subsection 2.
And when he was
To
graveling, he
make
just kept
and
graveling down
enforce
until he ran it
reasonable
out. So
rules,
we got good gravel.
regulations regarding the conduct
All right,
of
'cause I
persons
asked,
speaking
I said,
at,
gravel come on purpose.
videotaping,
And Chris told me,
televising,
he told me that.
photographing,
Yeah.
broadcasting, or recording.
Right, he went to almost up to the propane tanks,
Yeah.
what he had left, so.
Mr. Peterson,
So, I think
I'm reading
the
this for your
situation is
benefit.
good.
And
I'm
exclude,
listening.
We're getting
then
paid
quit
12
talking to
grand,
him
$3 miles.
and pay
They're getting
attention to
paid
me.
12 grand. I don't don't think it's.
No, I don't
Call
care.
Toby right now.
I don't care.
But see,
I'm the one
my,
that's talking.
my
Yeah.
thing
I'm
is
the one
on
that's
it,
reading.
my
You're
take
paying
on it
attention to
is-
me.
This
All
is-
right.
This is. under
Okay,
call
hang on,
control.
we're going further,
This
guys.
is
Remember you
pertaining
called
to
me up and you said there's an
meeting.
issue that your kids couldn't get to school and wondering. if
And
you could
your
come on that road?
participation.
Well, there we go. It's right there.
This means the
That
board
is what-
can impose
But
time and subject matter
we
limits
share
on
the
a person
machine.
speaking at a regular meeting of the Summit
as
Township
far as
Board
all of
and at the Summit
township,
Township annual meeting.
that's not
I
part of us
reread
anymore.
that sentence.
And I think we should be able
This
to do
means
our
the board
roads.
can impose time
We
and
did
subject
our
matter
roads
limits
first.
on
You're
persons
getting at
speaking
that,
at
we did our
regular
roads.
Let
meetings
me finish, let me
of the
finish.
Summit Township Board
But,
and the Summit
my whole
Township
thing is-
annual meeting. These types of restrictions are
When I
necessary
agreed
in
this
order to
a year
prevent the
ago,
member of the
a half
public
ago,
from trying to filibuster a meeting to prevent a
was-
board or
they
electors
wanted
from
to
taking
annex
action
it.
on the agenda item. And to
I was
limit
willing to be
speaker's
helpful
subject
for a
matter
year.
to discussing
They've
an
had a year
agenda
to
item
figure
that
this
is under
out.
consideration
It's
in the
no
meeting.
different than.
The board
when
also
they-
has
the
authority
county's
to
parking their main
make
road.
and enforce rules,
You know, they
to record a
overstate their
regular
level.
board meeting or a Summit
I know we're
Township
getting
annual
paid,
meeting, and to
but
do so in an
We don't need, I would
unobtrusive
rather,
manner, such as
How
requiring
about our
that the meeting
township?
can only be recorded from a
we don't
certain
need the money.
specific
And it
area
should be,
of the
if
meeting
it
room.
is, it should be shared
Also, the
with them.
board
because
is
they're
not
paying
required
half
to
bill.
wait for anyone to set up the recording
We discussed
equipment
that.
That was a
or
year ago,
conduct
that was a
its
year ago.
business.
I talked to Frank, they didn't
It
have a
concludes with a case.
If
The
they wanna go,
third
if they wanna
provision
go,
of the Nebraska Open
if they wanna
Meetings
go in
Act
there
that
and
applies
and do
to
something
every
over there,
public meeting
that's fine with them.
of a
If they
public
wanna
body.
take that
The
flag,
agenda
they don't
requirement.
pay them the grade, like maybe they're gonna do Adam's.
Such notice shall contain in an agenda subjects known at the time of the publicized notice
Yeah, Charlie.
or statement of the agenda, which shall be kept continually current, shall be readily available for the public's inspection at the principal's office of the public body during normal business hours. Agenda items shall be sufficiently descriptive to give the public reasonable notice of matters to be considered at the meeting.
Maintain roads, that's the.
Except for items of emergency nature,
That said.
the agenda shall not be altered later than
What's the
24 hours
benefits?
before the scheduled commencement of the
And
meeting.
what's
The
not.
public body shall have the right to modify the agenda
This
to
project.
include
Any
items of
project
an
that we
emergency
go into,
nature
you have to look at all
only
those
at such
options.
public meeting. The purpose of the agenda requirement is to give some notice of the matters to be considered at the
And we take
meeting,
this job on.
so that persons who are interested will know
What's the
which
benefits?
matters are under consideration.
So are you telling me?
There
that
is
taxes
no
are gonna go
provision
down?
in
They
84
could, we should have just seen that, we
1411
wouldn't have to.
which
do that.
imposes any
But we're not gonna get,
substantive
we're not gonna get something, because
substantive
it was
or
15 grand last
stylistic
year because they dropped
requirements
the
for
road.
public
But
body
I
agenda.
still think
Thus,
the-
what items to
the
be included in a public body's
benefit
meeting agenda almost
is
exclusive,
nothing
is
compared
almost
to
exclusively within the discretion of the public
the
body.
risk, like what we,
So long as
any
Summit
hour she spends
Township
on that road,
Board agenda
I say we could
satisfies
our
the main
township
purpose of the
road.
Open Meetings Act,
roads.
which
and
is
some
to ensure
township
that the
roads,
public policy is
and not
formulated
do
in
that.
open
So we're
meetings.
not,
and not
Those agendas are
maintain
not subject
that
to challenge.
3 miles, okay, and the biggest
Okay.
important thing is snow.
Based
It's
on the
not
lack of
just-
specificity and
whatever,
Ryan's
gravel
argument on the
Snow
main
is the
purpose of the
biggest
Open
thing.
Meetings Act, which
And
is to ensure that the
I'll
public
finish
policy is
my-
formulated.
I'm not-
So,
I'm
yeah, I
not-
know, but
We
my
find that
point
Ryan's
is,
allegation regarding the
every
sale
mile
of a motor
counts in a
grader and a
snowstorm.
drag line,
every
Ryan's
mile
request to
counts in a
receive
snowstorm
certain
matters,
information
okay?
in the sheriff's file
we
clerks, and the clerks
The
raising
last
copies
snowstorm
of
was a
prices
terrible one,
is
okay?
not
We
relevant to
we
the
all agree
violation of the
terrible.
Open
We had
Meetings Act.
One
Now,
guy I know that was in for 4 days.
for the
Another guy I
patrons of
know that
Summit
was
Township
stranded for 5 days
and
on south.
anybody in the public that
Whatever, it's a
cares,
bad snowstorm.
this
My
is all
point is,
substantiated
why
by
would
case
we
law.
wanna take on any contract
So,
work in the
We
case
have,
of a
and
bad
we need
situation?
to,
Let's
this
focus
board
on
will
ourselves.
indeed
And
create
12 grand's not
a
gonna
set
make
of
it or break it.
requirements
We got
that
$400,000
cover
in our account.
and
It's
stipulate
not gonna
time
make it or break it.
and process,
Shane could focus more on
and methods
other,
of
it's,
recording
I just
stuff,
feel it's
bringing
not
items to the board's agenda, et
okay,
cetera, et cetera, all right?
I feel that it's worth it because you're working
Well
with
researched,
the township,
well
or
in
the
place,
city that's next to us.
and if anybody
We're
has an
basically
issue,
giving these guys a little figure,
then
that
by
we will
all
help,
means,
we can go help them out. And like I said, this is
Obtain
the only
legal
thing that
counsel
come through on last year,
and
was
take
plowed
Summit
this for
Township
them, and he was on our roads the
and
rest
get
of the
your
time.
viewpoint heard
Do it.
in court, okay?
And we're getting,
We're
I
not
know it's
discussing
12 grand,
it.
but it's still, it's not
I'm
the
probably
money
gonna
that
do
probably
all that
adds up to the
county
issue with the
talk.
township, we're getting over our gravel.
I don't
roads,
care.
aren't we?
The only
All
thing
right.
with it, let's go back to.
I don't care.
Okay,
So like, if I
I'm
go
holding
straight
a meeting. You
Yeah.
either, you can enjoy, go join that one and listen to them, or you
And
can
that's
listen
where
to
I'm
me.
great, behind a good neighbor,
Having trouble
coming all the way through. Yeah.
I'm not having any
Even-
problem
Even
hearing
if
it.
you're going down the road to maintain,
Alright.
you can finish out the half
Neither
mile.
my-
So you're saying do it for free then? So now you're.
We've been doing it for free for 3 months, haven't we?
No,
Alright.
we've been getting paid.
And then here, I'm gonna go here.
Can I ask one?
I haven't seen anybody.
When we sign this deal, we're gonna get paid from July.
What I've seen, what you've.
That's when they're waiting for the interlocal to get signed.
But the contract ended up.
If you're gonna get on the agenda, it has to be specific, so that
Right.
we can be.
But
So
we
we haven't
may,
got paid this April?
no,
Yeah,
you'll
we
get
just
paid,
say,
it'll be
I want to
every
address the
April
meeting.
to the time. No, we get paid for
You
that.
have to be.
So
We
if
get paid.
we don't
What
sign it, we don't
need to
get
be
paid.
prepared for.
You're gonna have to pay that money back
Otherwise,
then.
we won't,
We
we're not
We
gonna,
haven't got.
Well,
paid
I
from
mean,
there.
we want to pay it back, but
we can't get caught off
because
guard.
the,
So the
We
contract's
need to
already
know
signed
exactly
behind
what
you
you're
in
gonna
that
bring.
thing,
That's fair.
and we haven't
Otherwise, how
got,
can
we
we
haven't got
prepare?
reimbursed. for it.
Right.
but when we
Without an
did
answer.
that, it was we did it because it was after the budget at the meeting, the split season, that's why we did it in July instead of in April. And they set it up for April, what they did. That's when they started. And that's when we started doing the work.
All right.
And they just pay us in July
I don't believe there,
for the year.
I don't believe
Even though it goes
there's
from
any more
April, so if you really want to quit this,
inputs,
you need to put it in April next year.
and
Don't want to
at that
cancel the
point, I don't
contract,
believe there's
because
any
you,
more
like I
public
said,
input.
you've already put time out there that we haven't paid
And,
for.
I don't understand why, as a business,
Do I have
as
anything
a
from either
township, why are we grading roads without a contract?
On what is
We're not
that?
gonna get paid for it if we don't sign it.
Mr. Dixon has something to say, Mr. Perry has something to say.
Well, we had the contract was given to us last month, but you guys wanted to table.
That's
All right.
that's regardless, because if it was last month, it was already
Just
5
one
months.
quick question
Why
on this,
not
what you
avoid
just handed us.
Uh-huh.
This is basically.
That's the way they started.
It's
that's the way
exactly
we
what I
did
just
it,
read to you.
everything was- That's the way it was. That just happened.
Even last month was 5
What's the
months.
kind of, I was kind of honestly looking into this.
Okay,
I just, did we have to pay Barton to write this up?
Of course we did.
Go back to the agreement.
Of course we did.
Yeah, because we
And-
have,
Chris, I just
As-
call him. and
as a
if he
board,
calls
we
me
have to
after
be
I do
legally
it, if I have
protected.
time, I do it. If I
because
don't,
we haven't
I
paid
don't.
for who's
I
taking
don't.
us off.
My own stuff, or, my own roads.
we have,
I mean, that's anything, because right here, a copy
Stuff
of
like
the
that,
rescue
written
meeting
up.
is
For the
right
most part,
there. You're taking us off, it's right
Rather not
there.
see our
You
township
can read it
lose money.
anytime you wanna read
And I
it.
called him and told him what I did, and he was.
I don't wanna read that, I don't want it.
That's all I was just curious if
I
we
know.
had
I-
actual
We
pay.
can never say we have a good.
We're
Right
understanding
there,
we could be-
right there, you can read it.
We are,
There you go.
That's the way.
if we
I was like, you
don't
really
do
had
it,
to pay.
we're actually doing
to hand it.
benefits
Yeah,
to
see,
the
Or should we in
because it
that
sounds
last
like
waste that.
what you guys are telling me, they
The
have
very
to pay that anyway.
I understand.
Well,
So,
but he, like you said.
well then give
he
it
gets
back,
sick,
it's
he
all
got sick
right.
a month
Give it
ago,
back,
when
I
it
don't want
has-
you to.
I'll keep it with my records.
I don't know if he has any.
Like, so by spending any more
People
money
have
with
to take care
him,
of it.
then we have.
Oh, this should be.
You know,
the-
until he got back on his feet.
Well, then if we have an issue,
Good.
you,
Oh.
that's gonna come out and take care of
My
my
standard.
standard too. So, there we go. You know, you gotta work together. I mean, it's just it's a little piece, it ain't a big deal. I can see if we had people
All right.
stranded for 3 or 4 weeks and we graded
We are-
these roads, and we did all
We are
these
now
first, then we come back to the
position
other.
here,
But we did not
where
do
we're
that.
on item
We
6.
pushed this one open, which is a main artery, and by the way, 38 is not a main artery. You got A Street and Fairgrounds, your main artery, and these will never, as long as I've been out of the country, 38 was never a main artery because it's through the hills, it's tougher to push and tougher to clean up. So don't expect to be 38 to be open. These are the roads that you want open to get arteries to town. That's what it was A Street and Fairgrounds. Those always were, and they always will be. So that's your main artery. Now, going through the hills trying, if you were around for some of these snowstorms when it was in the hills over, you didn't get through it for 3 weeks, because it was so damn deep in there, you couldn't get through it.
3 weeks, Pat?
Well, 2 weeks it was, I know 2 weeks it was,
Okay.
yeah, 2 weeks it
I'll
was.
remind you that
I have
in
one on
January,
phone, but-
how many miles did local farmers open up in our area?
But we weren't anywhere else. The only thing he wasn't anywhere else, he just pushed that.
I know.
So-
So I'm
so-
saying, why are we taking on more though, Pat? The city,
We're not, we're actually losing a
the
little bit.
city took this out of Olive, let them have it, they wanted it. Right?
Well, we took on the Fairgrounds Road, and that's part of what we had, so we're not really gaining it that much more. Because we were already doing
I mean-
Fairgrounds Road.
4 or 5 days to be snowed in is quite a while.
Yeah, but then, look, I get it, no. I agreed they were snowed in, but 4 to 5 days, some of them days where I couldn't even get.
Yeah, he
I
couldn't
even
go.
get out of town.
And I told him to stay off the
There was-
road too, because it was blowing.
I went out on Saturday to get the REA out, and it was blowing, and Randy and me met by, just by Thompson, or just a little bit past to the east of Thompson. We got them out to where they go, and Randy took them back to town, and it was already drifting shut on us when we come back. That was Saturday, and the county wasn't out. Sunday, I went out, was going out, then I had a grader outside of town here get stuck, had to go over and get him. I ended up throwing chains off, had to put him on, got him out. No more got that back together, had an emergency call. The county wasn't out. I had to open up Lee Road all the way to the highway, so the ambulance could come out and go all the way, so I had to open that. So that took me almost the whole day to do that. I stayed out till
I
11.
agree with you, Shane.
No, I know.
Too much
But
to
so-
do.
But I know, but when everybody says they were snowed in for five
Yeah.
days, yes, I agree, you were for 5 days, but 3 of them days, nobody was doing
Nobody
anything, nobody could
moving.
move.
Yeah,
If you were out in a tractor doing it, then you were risking your life. And there was no reason probably to be risking your life.
I actually.
We had feed that had to come in, you know,
For some
Well,
of
I know,
And-
but how, I mean, then you must have plowed all the way to David City if you haven't come out of David City, because
we
the county
came off,
wasn't out.
brought him down County Road and brought him in between the two snowstorms. And that morning I called Jeremy.
What morning was that?
I think if I remember right, the first snow was the 8th of January.
Okay. All I remember.
Does the day matter? It
Well,
was
but
in
I
between
remember,
the
all I
two
remember is it
snows.
started boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It was back to back to back.
We got him down, the county road was open, took him down the high road and in that way. In the meantime, you opened 38. This was before the bad one. He went back home on 38 and got stuck twice. Right, within 2 hours you opening it.
Yeah.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
Wind wasn't blowing.
So how did it get stuck then?
You're leaving snow on the road, Shane.
No.
No, no,
No,
no,
no.
no. And the other thing is, okay, the
I
other
pulled
thing is,
somebody else out on the fairgrounds road too.
but I'm saying, should we go out and, so now we're talking about the buddy system here, so
No.
we go leave, no. So you're saying we went and pulled that grader out, well, we're supposed to just leave him sit there and keep grading, right? That's the same thing we got here, same
I'm
thing.
not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying he probably has too much to do.
well, but if he went to pull a grader out, we should just left him set, and that's what you're saying here.
No.
Yeah, you are. What's the difference? You're telling the grader to stay there and sit.
Either way, it wasn't any different in Polk County. We had to
No.
open the roads to get there.
That doesn't justify all it, does it?
It doesn't justify complaining because it was a snowstorm, you
Am I-
couldn't get it.
Okay.
They were leaving snow like this too, you couldn't get it all off.
Well, I guess I don't wanna complain, so I'll be done then. I just wanna try and get things better, Gary.
I agree with you.
I think there's things that can be done better.
If I could do a little interjection, it's not intense, I actually called Shane.
I'm all in township.
But we're together for.
Yeah, we're together. We run the
We
grader
have
together.
an interlocal agreement to work together, okay? Same operator. During that time frame, I called Shane a couple times, asked him not to go out. It was 20 below, not wind chill, it was 20 below.
Fine, I agree.
We had how many
That's
mile an
fine.
hour winds, right?
Yeah,
And you expect him to.
no, I don't.
So,
I didn't say he
so-
should have been out.
I mean, so what are we discussing here? I mean,
We're discussing.
He's talking
I think-
workload versus. They're
I'm
not
trying to
talking
discuss
about
something
it.
here, but I can't
They're
understand
simply
because
talking
I-
about,
But
Well, because we grade
that's where it
together.
turns
That's just the way it
into
is.
saying he's
I
leaving
know,
snow on the
They're
ground.
local
I mean, I
grade.
can't even I don't know who to listen to here.
Okay. The two boards have done a couple, 3 things. Charlie, Sel, Pat, we've talked about how do we do interim operators, okay? Meaning they're using their own equipment, how do they get authorized to go out there? We have done some things as a result of that storm that would hopefully mitigate the circumstances we found ourselves in. So it isn't as if we did the storm, everybody bitched, and then we quit talking about it and quit trying to figure out some way to do it. We went just the opposite direction. We thought, well, what can we do here that mitigates this on going forward,
I
basically?
understand that.
So,
It's straight.
and we're going to continue to explore that and formulate that, okay? All right. Thank you. All right.
And age-wise, I've been up here since 77. Us farmers have always opened to get to our cow herd, to get feed in. We were without electricity that one year, I think 10 days without electricity. went to a town to get water, opened our own roads to get
It's in
that.
in 77.
I don't remember.
I've been here since 61.
Did
So
they,
that
do
I-
you guys have a motor grader like Shane has today?
We had a nice Caterpillar motor grader.
Yes,
Yeah.
with a big
With the
V plow in
snow,
the front,
big
6-wheel
V
drive,
plow,
yeah.
Big V plow on it, yeah, same thing. The only thing,
I'm not
the
complaining about
only thing
Shane.
we didn't have
I
back
just think
then,
he's over,
we did not have any
has too many
front,
miles to cover.
we didn't even have any.
Well, then what's your, I guess what's your proposal then? Do we
I don't
break
know.
up and get another grader?
I
You know,
don't know.
is that gonna
I
gain?
don't know.
You know, the kicker here is, if that happens, you better find a grader before you decide to break off. Because if you don't have a grader, you ain't got shit, if you ain't got somebody to operate. I don't mean the maintainer, but he's doing a good job. This is nothing. And who was at the meeting, and I didn't speak up and say, when Klosterman was here and Hilger was here, okay, they want Shane, but he's close, he's in town, but Pillen enacted a deal that all the graders had to be at the county yards with the emergency, okay? Then, if that's the case, then you got cattle, you should look at and say, hey, I need to go down there and be with those cattle so I can feed them. Hank should have went down to his feed yard, and Matt Hilger and Slope should have went and stayed at the fire station, because it's a lot easier to go dig somebody out that's hurt than to have to go dig somebody else that has to get to town for the emergency and then go back and dig them out.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's,
I mean,
what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I'm sorry.
No,
You know, and I didn't say that, but I should have brought that up, but
Yeah, if you need to be somewhere, you probably
Yeah.
need to stay there, but, maybe you guys need to let them know then.
These are these are exactly the discussions we've had for the meetings following that, all right?
Yeah, I was
Now-
here.
So I have every reason to believe that we are going to have a more formal approach going forward. If we think they're gonna have these kinds of storms and whatnot, we're gonna reach out to some folks. We've got some stuff figured out. We know what the insurance issues are. We know these kind of things now. So, you know, it's, gentlemen, like it or not, it's 2024. We live in a litigious world, okay? People sue on the drop of a hat on a ton of different things, all right? So we have a lot of things to think about that we wouldn't necessarily be thinking about if it was 1985, okay? We'd just be making phone calls and saying, hey, can you go do this for me, Jack? Can you go do this? Now we need to formalize it and do some things, all right? And we will get that done, all right?
What's your time frame? And I'm not pushing, I'm not trying to, but, I mean,
We-
that particular storm, Don, you flagged me down.
Oh,
I pulled out a
absolutely.
UPS guy.
Absolutely.
The liability there is insane on my side because I was going to feed cows. So, I'm not, like I said, I'm not getting into condition of the roads, I think he did a great job.
But Jesse, that wasn't my road that you pulled down.
Regardless, but my example, the reason I bring that example up is because of the liability of me, like I said, and so this conversation, I think is a great idea, what he's proposing, I think we need to put it into some meeting, plans and, you know, before we see some more snow and such and see where it goes in the discussion.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Jesse. Absolutely.
And the second part of that equation from prior to current is along that whole bluff, including some in Township, all of town. People have built there like unbelievable, not knowing that you're not gonna get out the next day if you're gonna build in that kind of conditions.
But you have more tax money because of that now too, correct?
Just,
Correct.
no, very little,
Really?
very little, because where does, did you ever read your tax statement when you get your taxes? Did you ever read that?
Yeah.
Where that money goes?
Yeah.
Okay,
School,
how much,
most of it,
who gets,
if it goes
who
up,
gets the money? Who gets the money? Who's the number one recipient?
school,
Okay, how much approximately? 60%,
okay,
okay?
yes,
We're way down the list.
You're probably
The
the bottom.
county is ahead of us.
yeah.
We've got the college in Columbus. We got
Yes.
ESU, the Upper Big Blue, Lower Platte, no, South.
The only person probably underused fire department.
Yeah, yeah, well, and they're, you know, we're in a good area with our fire department, I'm on that board, but.
So if it goes up
But a
1%,
house,
you
when
still
somebody,
get,
but
you
when
still get a
somebody,
raise.
but when somebody builds a house, even if it's a $500,000 house, the amount of dollars we get off of that compared to farm ground what we're paying, don't pay for a load of gravel. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it truly is.
But you,
Look it up. Look up your valuation. Look up how much goes to your township.
no, I'm
And
not
see how much,
arguing
see how much gravel you can actually
It
buy.
still goes up. It's a
So-
percentage deal.
But so
Can I
does,
ask one
so does the
question
gravel
regarding
go up, so does the fuel go, cost
Yeah.
of our machine.
Yeah, the machine,
Everything
you're
else goes
talking
up. We
about
don't-
the machine back
You're
in the
taking
eighties.
an acre of ground and you're putting $1 million house on it. There's no farm ground that's worth $1 million an acre.
Oh my, no, but we all have huge amounts that we pay a ton.
What? I'm not agreeing, I'm not disagreeing, I'm not
I
saying
mean-
they pay more than you do.
one quick question regarding everything we're talking about. I think we're all on somewhat the same page, and we're not, there's no need to fight each other. So one question I have regarding this topic is, should the county, with their arsenal of equipment, be responsible for, in a bad storm?
They're supposed to help out.
Shouldn't they
They're
be
supposed to
responsible? So
Yes.
as
Not
us, as a
responsible, but
group,
they can help out when they can, that they gotta take care of their
so
own
that's,
road.
like I said, I don't think,
Admitting.
there's no reason for us to fight each other. Maybe we should, what needs to happen? Do we need to go and say, in a snowstorm, I've heard well, Bauer said that we need to hire a third party now, is what I think,
Yes,
you heard that, right?
that's what I was just.
You said that in a
bring up.
meeting, that we need to get a
That same
sub,
meeting you were
That's what we're
talking
talking
about
about,
earlier.
yeah.
which,
Scott Bauer said you need to go
Isn't
out
that
and look for a
insane?
contractor to help us when Shane can't
he said that
get
at
through
a,
things. Why is the county, and that's, I brought that up at a meeting and nobody really listened
So,
to me, but
okay, just to go
why
back to
is
the
the
county,
county not coming out?
the
with
county
a
did
dozer?
come help me, but when they got done with theirs, I only had 6 miles that I didn't have to
Okay,
open, and that was what they.
I know, but
but we talk about tax dollars and,
Yes.
and look at the arsenal that sits on that lot and doesn't move. I don't know, do we have power as a township to go ask them, say, hey, should you structure differently to help us in a situation like that?
Bauer's response
So
to
we
that
don't-
was they can't keep people working for the county. That's,
So gentlemen,
sorry, I don't like that response from our county supervisor.
understood. What I can tell you is that this discussion has reinforced in my mind, we took some preliminary steps, we had some preliminary discussions. What we haven't done with all of that discussion stuff is we haven't identified 5 or 6 people and said, would you be interested? And if so, this is how we would compensate you, this is how the protocol would work. We haven't formalized that. But we certainly had vigorous discussions about getting some additional help in the form of folks that want to be able to help and have the equipment to help.
That's great.
So what we need to,
I wanna be real clear, Shane, you're not doing a bad job, so I hope you're not taking it that way, we all believe you're doing a great job. In a situation like that, I believe the county should be helping us, or, I don't know, one more thing I'll throw out there and I'll stop talking. They can't find help, can we find part-time help to run additional piece of equipment, that may be another idea.
We have, Doug Radicek has been
I
on
realize,
it.
yeah,
And I.
did it
logged
work
on-
out? I don't know how that turned out, was
Well,
it good or?
he did the best he could because it was so deep that he could
I
only
got
do so
you.
much. It wasn't like when Marv was
Right.
talking to me, I mean, this snow was every room.
Yes,
It
But it's
wasn't,
the
it wasn't,
county's equipment.
no,
Doug gave you
oh,
a piece
well,
of the
no,
county.
well,
No, our
no,
own,
because
our own, Doug
I
had our own.
can't, I can't even run one of the county a piece.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's stipulations that say that
Cause I'm not under their
insurance
yeah,
and whatever.
The county attorney would have a fit.
It's what I wanna throw, and I'm not saying it, the reason I'm saying this is, I don't like whole townships having to search out to look for a contractor to help us when
That's-
the
I
county,
think
we're
that's
paying our
insane.
tax to the county. I understand what you're saying, we don't get shit from the county to do what we need to do. County needs to be ponying up and helping Shane when we have storms like that, take care of both townships in places he cannot get to. That's my point is, don't tell me I need to hire a contractor, a full-time contractor to be on call to help him out when they should be helping him out.
I agree with all that stuff. You know, right now, we can't even get the county to clean a road ditch.
Yeah.
How can we count on them to do this? So we are, as a township, trying to find other options, that may not be available, because.
In a situation like that, if you gotta go out and find somebody, I guess I don't know exactly how it works, and maybe shouldn't be at a meeting, this question, but do we pay them out of our township, the contractor, or does the county pay them, or how does that work?
That's the thing, we pay it out of our township.
We will.
So why, you got a good point.
So the
why
dollars
do
go
we-
to them, they allocate us this, and then we gotta take dollars, well, once again,
Yes,
this
why should
arsenal
we-
of
why should-
equipment sits there.
Why should we pay out of our township to take care of something
Yes.
that the county should, why are we paying
Exactly what.
local
I'm
people?
trying
I mean, I'm understanding what's happening, but it's like, why should we pay for, to do that when the county should be helping us? Why are we taking our own money and paying for something that should be done?
I guess if you could take it up one step further, and you guys can answer this question, because I don't know. Are we, you laugh at me, you want, I don't know the answer. Are we responsible for clearing our own township roads? I mean, is it?
Not all of it.
Was
If it gets to be an emergency, the county's supposed to kick in.
Great question.
Is that like?
Are we liable?
Yeah.
I've never seen that. Is it in writing somewhere? Is it a verbal?
Oh,
Is it?
I think we're responsible for our roads, but if it's a storm like that.
Right, they kick
Then
in.
we need
That's
it
my
would be
point.
called mutual aid.
Okay. But also, if that's the case, let's just stop there and say, if we are responsible for our own roads, okay? I asked that question and you said the county should step in. There's nothing in writing probably, so it goes back to probably Shane was still responsible.
Well,
We hope for a favor of mutual aid, but if we can't count on it, we do have enough funds.
I do,
You know,
But are
to
we
go back,
supposed
just wait, to go back to the county deal, I think there is a local agreement
See,
with
that's what I don't know.
every township, if there's an emergency, if we ask the county, they're supposed to help us. But they also gotta open up all
So that's the
the main
dilemma.
road, their deal is to get all
We're
the
at their
county roads
mercy,
open
so
for- yeah.
then we're at risk and also at their mercy. And if it's possible, and that's what I guess I'm getting at, if we're at the county's mercy and they still will help us when they have time, that's not good enough for me. And why should we pay, like the question you had is, why should we, as a township, pay an independent contractor to clear our roads? If we are responsible for our roads, then I say that's okay. If we are supposed to be clearing our roads, then I feel it's okay to hire a contractor, because, frankly, what else are we gonna do with the money? The most important thing our taxpayer care about is a snowstorm. I'm seeing it. It's our most important thing taxpayers care about. So if we have to hire independent contractors to help us and spend $40,000 or whatever it may be, I don't know, throw a number out there. Well, so we have 40,000 less in our account, the taxpayers paying their money, everybody's happy, we ain't broke, so I guess, I don't know where the facts are.
That's
I
a
don't know
stair
where the
step
facts
to
are.
the next thing you say is, well, now we need more money, we need to raise tax.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
Well,
downside to the
Hopefully you don't
upside.
have a snowstorm like that.
Right.
Yeah, this is the one,
Hopefully you only need a guy like that maybe once every 5 or 6 or maybe.
if you're lucky, or nine,
I used to have it every other year in the early seventies.
Yeah, it's-
But then there's in 72.
Yeah, we.
Back to the tax deal.
72, you were here in
Money part of it.
77?
I was
I was here 5 years longer.
kind of listening to you guys.
So
go
who-
through it,
who's
how
been here
much money
since
do we have in
72?
savings?
we got
Or roughly.
Okay, so three.
401.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
with
just-
the.
But the,
And then
but the CD.
Can you go?
But then you gotta remember, we're gonna be,
Ask for
the grader's gonna be
dollars.
deemed to be replaced probably another 2 or 3 years.
So-
Yeah, I don't know. I was just
$500,000.
like, he's saying
Yeah.
that.
Like he's talking cleaning road ditches, if we don't get them
clean
clean,
it, we
can
can,
we say, give us money so we
Yeah.
can pay
Yeah,
somebody?
but
All we
all
know is it's our
we
money,
need
it's
to
when it
go-
goes there.
Yeah, do we need to go to Dickie
When I
County
started
and say,
10 years ago,
yeah.
when I got my
When I started
30-day
10 years
period to
ago, we
complain
didn't
about
say,
property tax? Do I need to go to her and say, you need to be given more to Summit Township
Yeah.
of my
it's
dollars?
from in 10
Oh, that's
years
good, that was
because
right,
of the tax
that was
dollars.
right.
Yeah.
What helps
The
that?
pipeline
Valuation.
and everything else, the pipeline
It's-
helps a lot.
We're actually,
To get us
yeah.
going.
But that was right after this coming off.
All right,
And
that's
the only,
the answer.
County
the
has
only
to-
way we
we
can
were
go
broke
up that
basically
is
when
to
the county
make
was
money
County's
out.
taking
of
every.
Everything we had.
And we
Yep.
would have
Saying
to
it
vote,
took
and it's
200,000
called a budget override.
to maintain our roads.
But that's not a permanent,
No,
that doesn't raise your budget every year.
No, it's during the year.
It's an emergency.
It's a- I think it's a budget override for that year.
Gotcha.
And we just blew Poos through that.
And that's the problem, I'm worried,
So in a
if we start
nutshell,
doing this stuff ourselves,
But
or hiring a third party, then our money's gone.
You know, and all that's on waiting list.
That's county.
County.
That's county.
Go through the county first.
Yeah.
And
You know, when's the last time a ditch really got dug out? Probably never been. There hasn't been a ditch that, the road been rebuilt, I mean, fairgrounds, that needs to be rebuilt, it needs to be raised up 2 foot.
If we can put together.
What's that? Yeah, bridge crew, yeah, it's gone, we do it,
That we can call on
no,
to assist us, that have proper equipment and whatnot.
And then what do you guys
Because
do in a year?
we will do that, so that we can try to get more
The tax
wheels on
money
the ground.
rate, like every.
170
So that
days,
we
but,
can clear
yeah.
the road,
Yeah.
we can put more wheels on the ground, okay? And pushing the snow.
I mean, it's
That's
pretty
what we
tough
did.
money anymore.
Now, with
Said
regards
you
to
know, you need to do
being
something.
creative,
Right, but
should
you
we as a
never know
township,
when
as
you-
There's an
you-
emergency,
go to
yeah.
the county
Yeah.
and say,
You get a tornado,
We
it's
need
down
our
a
ditches
lot of
cleaned.
things. There's a
lots
lot
of
cleanup
places
there.
need their ditches.
You get the floods like we had that.
Yeah,
And
that's
we
a
have partnership money for some equipment here.
4 years
It
ago,
doesn't
that
cost
was,
you
Which is-
the whole
yeah.
paid out.
And there's a lot of federal money
But
paid out
in
40.
payback,
But it took
some
2 years.
that. I know,
to get
I know, you gotta be able to
We
write
have
it
to
out.
sack ourselves before we
And
get our
then-
money.
It was
Yeah.
2 years of
Cause now
fighting.
actually they have, federal money for this.
there's nothing that prevents
You see
us
that?
from
What's that?
creating
They
that.
declared like Buffalo
And-
County a
and
disaster
What
from
I'm
the
hearing from
flood
you is
this year.
as patrons, is that's the
I did
kind
not
of
see that.
story
Yeah.
we would like to have done. okay?
Wow.
Because they're not gonna get there, John.
But yeah, like you said.
When you were talking about.
Yeah, that
And lots of.
Finding
There's
additional
lots of
help in a
paperwork.
situation like that.
Well, what did
My
it take to
concern
finally,
was,
finally got the last payment last year?
In that
for the-
situation, not so much that you
2019.
hunt down somebody and they're paid properly, but
Paid
like
out.
if I go and open up
I
a
mean, it was
road
worth
to
it
get
for
the
the
cows,
township.
am I
but
liable
it's just-
for some kind of an accident because I didn't open it up correctly or
No,
something?
no, you are not. You are
Okay.
no, you are not.
It would, and we addressed this in one of our fire meetings, the only way you would get into trouble is if we called you up and said, can you open this up, for me? Do you have the equipment? But then legally, we had to call them, what was it? We have to tell you something, to get you legally on,
Commandeer
They commandeer their equipment,
and then you're on our liability insurance.
Yeah, then you're on-
While you're doing that.
their, I just wanted
Because I can
to,
go,
somebody
hey,
says that.
this guy's stuck over here,
So
we
next
never
time
touch
you need
equipment,
to
can you
go
do
on
that?
the road,
And so we would have you cover the liability.
They
We
have to
did
be
look
okay
into
by
that.
that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then your insurance.
But for your own
Cover our insurance.
purpose, yeah, no, not that I know of.
That's good to know. So like, I called you and said, hey,
So we need to go.
I'm
back
gonna go
to the-
open up this for
Yeah.
Alan to get out.
We
My
could,
skid loader and my,
Well, what are we gonna do on the?
and then
Well, you know it.
then we have to we have to document
They
it,
still feel the same, Pat?
put it in a notebook or whatever, we called you on
Agree
such
to
such
disagree.
date, you were commandeered to help us, and then you're on our liability.
Well, I vote yes.
We actually, the insurance
You don't
guy,
make a
he
motion
came
to
out and
vote.
talked to us about it.
I do have
but
one
we have to
statement.
author the request,
Yes.
okay? You
But I mean, you could call us, just
call us and
suggest it,
offer,
and then we
and
have
we
to.
have to respond with the formal request, okay? And if we don't,
Try not.
then it's a nice offer, and, but you didn't hear it from us. Okay, you wanna go do something, whatever, but you didn't hear it from us, all right?
the only other side of that, when I go back to what I
If
said
they,
about the county,
I'm just,
And-
I'm just throwing that out there.
They can still pay us.
Shane
If they
had
wanna be-
spent
Put in a contract.
most of an afternoon.
Why the hell are we
showing
grading
how
roads for 5 minutes? That's what I'm
That
getting.
should
That's what you did.
That's what I'm getting.
You
It
had
goes
lots
both
of-
ways, Pat. We don't have a contract.
Yeah.
We don't have a contract, we're plowing the roads.
Okay, but
I'm
now you
not
know,
patting myself on the
okay,
back,
you
but
had
if
the
you went around,
contract
go
in your
around,
file from the
I had it-
previous one.
It took me a
You
while to
must
get
have not
that,
read it.
when I had
You
everything
should
checked
have.
out and was ready for the next one.
It should have been in
If you went down to
I
these
don't have
other
it.
guys' roads,
I
this is
don't
the.
I was fine
the
going
names.
down
I don't know where it went.
And
My
you
mom had it
But
somewhere.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
No,
guess
I
that'd be-
I went through every single
What you
thing.
had to
And I went
do
through
was
all
put
my
it in.
papers.
Well, it would have been with that office that had it,
I didn't even know about it
Yeah.
till.
Yeah,
I was
whenever
well,
we got
because
back.
it's a-
we had 3 other areas we had to open with the dozer, with the meter, and a front end loader would have really did a help job.
As of right now. I
That's
don't-
all I'm getting at, is
Yeah.
I'd rather see
I mean,
county
yes to it.
step in than us have to hire
Yeah.
Well, then I'm gonna back out of the, helping them try and get that road graded up and forget about it, because I've been in meetings and stuff with them trying to get that figured out, if I'm not gonna get their help, or you guys can figure out how to get yourself to town, or
A lot of that.
because then he's gonna be shut around in the middle of the road.
No, they'll go through.
Well, no, why should, okay, then let's go back to, we're grading that road for nothing, why should we grow that
In a
half mile?
snowstorm, in a
It
snowstorm.
don't matter, it's still going, it's still the principle, we're still going on that road for nothing. We're still going on that road for nothing. So don't tell me about going for nothing or not getting paid, because if you're gonna still go through that road, you're gonna get paid for nothing, because they ain't gonna give it to you. It's either all or nothing.
Pat,
Yes.
as chairman of Summit, and you're chairman of Poly, we've got a bunch of input here, but in our annual meeting, we really need to move down to item 6, which is a joint discussion.
Okay.
Back and forth here. So I think we're done here, okay?
Okay.
All right, and we need to move into our joint stuff and talk about that, okay? So, now, with regards to Summit Township roads, we've got that covered, and you and Shane have talked, Ollie just spoke with Shane, so you got that covered. All right, so now, from an equipment requirement and operators report. So, Shane, give us a synopsis of where the maintainer is, where the dump truck is, where the tractor is, where the auxiliary equipment that goes on there, status of, just run through that for the annual report here, okay?
Well, of course, the maintainer's sitting at the shop and the tractor's there, everything's running fine,
Okay,
pickup's there, all the utilities are there. I have the dump truck down at my shop, so I can put it inside, so it don't sit outside. It's sitting outside right now because we had a
okay,
garage sale. I'll put it back in there. Building wise, everything's good. The implements that we have are everything's,
it's all
as far as I know,
operational.
is everything operational. I put the shredder on, when hopefully next week go around and do some,
Oh, good.
intersections there, but around stop signs, there were some trees that are covering up stop signs and where you can see what I can reach.
Mhm.
Then I got some spots too where, along the north side of the roads there where the sunflowers are 8 foot tall and the guy mowed along the deal, but he didn't go on the inside, so I'm gonna go knock them down, so start knocking that stuff down for
Good.
winter, so if it does snow, hopefully that will catch it.
Okay.
Otherwise, everything else, everything building wise is good. Going back to that was the other deal, never mind.
Okay.
You talked about hot seat, but that was, the power washer's working good.
Thank you. All right, so as far as we know, the radiant heater's gonna work in the shop?
Yes, that should, yeah. I haven't kicked it off. I'll probably kick it on in October, just to make, end of October, just to make sure it kicks on, and then if it don't, then we can get hold of somebody.
Yeah.
The door's been working fine too.
That was supposed to be my next question.
Doors working good.
The doors continue to be operational. Excellent, excellent. All right, all right.
And when you get that readjusted, that you could actually do it manually.
Yeah, that guy came out and readjusted it.
We readjusted the spring.
Oh, so you could, yeah, that was way too
Tight.
loose.
Or loose.
Springs were way too loose, letting the doors drop, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So, do either of my two board members have a question for Shane?
I
What-
just have a comment from a patron that texted me, to say that, can I pass along that the chicken barns are rotting and the people who work at them need to get working. So, I'm not quite sure what to do about that, but,
Okay,
um,
we took notice.
yeah.
Wasn't me, they didn't know. I can send with their thoughts, yes.
Public,
Yeah.
where are we at on since we're annual meeting, do you know the hours on the?
Yeah, 2,400 hours.
Okay.
On the
400 hours.
Yeah. Tractors, I can't tell you for sure off the top of my head.
But the seal that we had.
It's hold, yep.
Stayed in place?
Yep.
Excellent, excellent, all right, all right.
And
Jeremy, Charlie, you have
The truck, the old truck, is that Code Scissor on
No,
the?
It's sold,
it's sold.
$4,100.
Chip sold, truck sold.
good deal.
Yesterday was the
Sale, yeah.
Right, and then the new truck is, doing fine finishing.
Do we need, at this point in time, is, barriers closed, road closed, sign?
No, we're good on all that stuff.
Good on all of that, okay, all right.
I'm gonna look, there's a company out of Omaha, I'm gonna look into, for chains, Midwest. I might look, see what they got, somebody said actually Chris Crow's, it was David City, I was talking to him, and he talked to Kevin here in town. That's where they started getting their chains, he said they're cheaper than.
Oh, it's there.
He said quite a bit, it's worth
It'd
doing.
be okay.
Oh,
If the guy's coming this way, he'll deliver.
okay,
So,
Okay.
like if David City was getting, like we said, if us three get together and talk, and if somebody's ordering something, if somebody needs something ordered at the same time, so when it comes out, we can get one
okay,
big load.
all right.
That
Makes
sounds
sense.
like good
see if he's got a catalog or if I can just go online and
No.
look what he's got.
Charlie, you attended the meeting, the county supervisor meeting. And the information I received back from that, and so I'm asking you in this open forum here, is that the road supervisor, Randy Isham, declared, I'm summarizing, declared to the board that Shane can simply call him up and say, call Johnson, get gravel on these roads, and they will respond with doing that.
Yes.
Okay, so that was done, all right? So that gives us flexibility to get something done instead of waiting for the county to come and dump for us.
Made it sound, and then make it sound, he said to me that that's the way it's been, that's the way it's always been, and Shane should know that.
And you know what?
And I said, well, we must have a misunderstanding, this makes it real easy, now we know going forward what to do, thank you.
Thank you, Charlie, for
That's what I
going
said.
and getting on the agenda and getting that cleared up, all right? So now we will exercise that when we need to exercise it. okay?
Yeah,
So
because
we'll do it.
that's in their minutes now, so that's.
You heard it, Frank.
Yep, that's in their minutes now, he said we can use it when it needs to be used. And so we will back you up, Shane. Okay? If they don't get it done, we will go back.
Do me a favor tomorrow when you're going to work, or you probably won't notice we're going to work, because they probably don't have to gravel on 38, see if they gravel when you come home tomorrow.
Okay,
Cause
thought they did,
I graded it yesterday,
I think they did today,
Okay,
up
is there-
on 38, past right on top of that hill.
on top of the hill and going
Yeah,
towards
they,
the railroad
I'm
track.
certainly
Okay.
did, yeah,
Cause he
today.
said he was gonna do it today.
Yeah,
The
they
county did it themselves.
did. Okay, they did.
They did the 2 spots they needed the worst, cause he said, well, the map's on top, he goes, I'll have them get them 2 spots, your map's next for the rest of it, I said, well, that's fine, the
Yeah.
rest of it is, I mean,
And we don't have to abuse the Johnson thing, but
No,
he says.
but-
No, but we need.
people like that,
gravel.
I was 90 days, almost 90 days before I got gravel, and then they don't like you to double maps up in there, well, if I gotta wait 90 days, that's 3 months out of my fiscal year.
Yeah, so I think
It's
it's
kinda hard to get your
I
allotment on, when you only get,
I'm just trying to
you can't
solve
go
the
over
problem.
500, you can't go over 500 yards on the map.
You only got a year to clean it up.
Okay.
3 months to be on.
Yeah, and we try to quit putting it on once harvest starts, if it's not wet, because otherwise we blow it off with snow.
I got a couple spots here yet, I'm gonna put on here yet, and then I'll be done putting gravel on, I might go spot some of our own, with our own, just here and there, like, right, like at the crest of the hills, where the gravel gets struck down, I'm gonna wait probably like, maybe towards middle of October, end of October, I might just put a little gravel on the top of the hills and try to get it through winter, so cause it all carries down the hill with it, But otherwise, I mean, after that, I'll be in good shape with gravel.
Okay. All right.
Or
Then,
best I can be for this.
unless y'all have something else, I'm fixing to move to item 7, which is all our stuff to deal with over here, banking, that kind of stuff. We're all done.
Let me ask you a question of both townships. Is there a formal way to get an agenda item put on to ask both of you guys? Like when you're talking about stuff in the joint session?
I don't know the answer to that, other than if you get a hold of me, I'll put it on our agenda, and then I'm just gonna assume that.
Well, I can tell you,
I don't know.
the public input portion is item 5 on our agenda, all right?
I'm asking for both townships.
And I am telling you, the public input is item 5, okay? If you want to discuss something for both townships, then, and you, at that point, you can discuss it with Summit Township if that's what you want to do, all right? Because that's where it shows up on our agenda, okay? When we are in joint session, the two of us going together here like this, we are past patron and public input. We are past that point. So, your comments will be heard when item 5 is read on Summit Township.
How do you guys do that with your agenda?
I just go off of old business.
There's a new business or on the agenda,
And
needs to
the
be,
public has their stuff
right,
right here on the agenda, and then that's done, we keep moving down.
So does your public input happen at the same time?
What, I think if I understand you correctly, you're asking if you wanna talk to both townships
At the same
and
time.
their agenda don't match our agenda? I have no idea, I don't know, I mean,
So you'd have to go to each individual
Township,
township.
yeah, or on each individual board, yeah, township.
We are separate townships with an interlocal agreement to be efficient with our operating funds.
Well, like the snow discussion, that was everybody in the room talking, so.
And you know what? I chose not to be a royal horse's ass and say, I closed all the public stuff here. If you guys wanna talk to them about the roads, go talk to them about the roads. I chose not to do that. And what did we get out of that? We got some good ideas. Jesse moved us, we're going to talk more about and get some kind of list put together that makes sense, all right?
I
That's
was
what we
just
got.
trying to politely wait for the appropriate time to say, I talked to Randy about parking the grader closer to Columbus where the grader operator lives, and he was receptive to do the idea of when we have an imminent snowstorm, blizzard coming in, that he could park it at Regis instead of having to park it in Rising and drive from Columbus and.
You're talking about the county one that parks north of town here, that's right, the county,
Yeah,
that does road D.
because he couldn't get here during the blizzard.
And that is the county's problem, okay?
But Shane worked with them and had to pull him out.
We have
It wasn't-
no,
I didn't-
I'm not going down the path, I'm
It was
done,
different, yeah.
I'm done, I'm done. All right, we're moving to item 7, which we're gonna finish up our annual meeting here. I can do that. Thank you.
Yeah, I got one question for Jason, okay, on the deal.
All right, guys, here we go.
You said about getting the fee for your stuff,
Yeah.
you know, you got stuck with that.
We've
Was
already
there a
heard from
chance
Shane on
before that
7A,
snowstorm that you
the
could
township
get
lot.
there
We did.
ahead of time?
Building, don't see.
Okay, but then, so when did the next one come, during the snowstorm?
In
Now,
between,
issues.
there was enough snow
On the
on
lot, do we got-
Monday, maybe a Thursday, if I remember right,
Where he.
it was that Wednesday.
No, yeah, no, I mean, the corner flag's still there, I can.
Okay, we should probably do something. Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, there's a pin in the ground.
There is.
No, he put pins in.
He put pins in.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
There's no, I mean, there's no.
He
Visual.
But he does have, it's hard for us. Okay.
And it's not just me, forget the cabs.
You guys just had a sideboard.
Right.
We were discussing a lot,
Okay.
and so I knew it was flagged. I wanted to make sure.
I'm not gonna be a butthead on
As
this,
Jay
but
says, there are pins.
most of the people that
Pins
long
in,
time
so
ago lived
we
out
do have a permanent.
in the country
Okay.
farm,
Oh,
okay?
So we would have to do that
A
again.
lot of the people that are out in the country now have jobs in town.
All right,
Okay, you're not
So,
getting city service because you're not paying the taxes for
would you
city
give
service.
us, Frank, a?
That's why I'm gonna put it bluntly there, you will not get front door service like the city does, comes across. So you made, whoever it was that moved out here,
Okay, so
made the decision that I'm gonna
I've
live
got
here
August
now.
statement and it was, okay.
Plain and simple.
I just
Our
wanna
business
say
got
that
71,
that was last year.
731
We are
in there
working to improve.
at Union Bank also, then
This upcoming.
put the excess into
And I was gonna say
CDs, we got
that-
some interest off of them. Those are
what
105,
Pat said
953.
is, that's the
And
way
then
it used to be,
I
people
took-
are moving out there, they're new, they're not, you know, they're not getting the
We took some over
benefits.
to Bank of the Valley because
Contrary
during
to
certain
that,
times
I
of
would
the
do
year,
everything in my power,
we
and I
get
would
their
expect
backs
you guys both
for
you
guarantee.
to do
So we
everything in
have
your
two at
power
Bank of the Valley.
to do the best we
Those
can.
total 82,000.
If we do better than we
So,
did 30 years
as
ago,
of last
that's
month.
great. Let's just keep doing better,
Look at,
keep trying harder,
That's
if we have to
three-
change
three
things
accounts
for
that
the
we have.
better, you know, we're together here, you know,
All right.
for the better,
Thank you.
let's try. If it don't work, it don't work, but we can at least try.
All right.
And that's,
That's-
that's where we're going with
Yeah,
all
and
that.
that's why,
Yeah.
so that's why I started.
Into
Yes.
different.
Well, I'm just
So
saying,
that in case
trying
we
to
let's
have
get
forget
better
about the
for next
past,
time.
cash
and
in
let's
sewer,
let's
we
try
have
to do our
cash
best in the
the whole
future.
thing
Yes.
in, so.
and you have to look at the, I
Excellent.
mean, he didn't agree with me.
So we'll have a
But
pretty
you
big,
look at the
we'll have a pretty
valuation,
big one
those
coming in.
people that
September
built a house
15th,
on it,
because it's the
down
final-
lot,
The last,
It
second half.
it is a hair more, but it doesn't,
So,
in the
pretty
big
big.
picture of everything, it's not a lot.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't, give us a
How
lot
do
of
you
money.
figure
thank you, Frank. So,
In the big picture,
I
it's
don't
not.
have anything to.
Yeah.
But
add
yes,
on
every house
With
counts.
regards to
I
safety.
agree. So it might be,
All right.
So Jeremy, why are
Do you
we,
have anything to
whatever you said we
comment
were
there?
broke 20 years
That was
ago,
because the county was taking all our money.
All right.
20 years ago we
And
were
then-
broke, today we have 400,000 we're paying $170,000, why is that?
We don't,
Because we're not giving all the money to the county. That's the problem, we're actually getting out,
What are we
saying,
doing
well,
with it? What are we doing with it?
well, I'm on seven.
do you wanna go to zero and give all the tax money back? And then if we have an emergency, we don't have nothing to fall back on. I'd rather have the
When the
money,
county had it, what would your
They need
emergency?
to,
what's that?
When the county,
cleaning the chicken.
Took care of
coop or
us.
Whatever, and it's like.
what would your emergency?
We still
be?
have to pay for the
Right.
that put in, the
Right.
various things added on top of it, the new bridge.
It was basically a comment.
Yeah.
So, in
I don't know,
you
So
know,
seven E was just a comment is what it's,
it's money.
cause I was thinking you're gonna roll out
Yeah.
some new proposals
Double
of chicken
check.
barns or something. So it's good to hear that that's what
We
the
can't do all
summary
that.
is.
Yeah.
I understand.
We're trying to,
Yeah.
That's
They're expanding.
I guess
That's
what
what I
we
was,
gotta do-
that's the way I read it, that's why I stuck around.
I guess we hear the Michigan Township
That's how we
is
get
struggling
people to
and
stand
being
some
healthy
land.
like we are, so we
I
have some
think,
issues.
I think this is great.
All right,
If
No,
we-
we're okay on that.
we don't have any emergency items that have been brought in.
This is the best thing.
Yeah.
I think.
We need to do item 9.
I have
Thank you,
no
Jesse.
problem.
We need to review
I mean, I don't
payments
It's
and
hard
do that.
tell somebody those
set a
that do
date
about
for
town,
our
like,
October
just stay
meeting,
down, I guess, 'cause that can't
which
be
we're
worked.
back.
That's their choice though.
That's their choice,
So
they
you're
don't,
comfortable telling somebody that, Jimmy?
yeah, I would be, I'd be telling them, if you wanna make sure
I'm saying that we will do the best of
you
our
can, that's right, but it ain't gonna be like this.
That's the first
It ain't gonna be
Wednesday.
close.
That's the first Wednesday.
That's the same
Works for
priority
me.
as
We're back
37
to
roads,
a regular
roads,
schedule,
roads,
okay.
priorities.
Yeah.
We're still at 8 o'clock.
Do our
Yep,
best.
Yeah,
8
yeah.
o'clock, right?
And we're gonna keep working at it harder to
Into
accomplish
10
it.
to 8 p.m.